Hey guys, so this is my Margot Robbie Golden Globes 2018 inspired makeup look, which was inspired by her amazing makeup artist Pati Dubroff? I don't really know how to pronounce it, but her makeup is amazing, and this is just an inspiration. It's not like this is exactly how she did it, obviously not, but yeah, so this is just my version of kind of the hair that I tried to do and the makeup, so yeah, I hope you guys like it. Start with a primer first because I'm going to use a dry foundation. I am using the Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. I've already prepped and moisturized my skin. I've also moisturized my lip. In an interview with Elle UK, Margot Robbie's makeup artist Pati said that Margot was more tanned at that time, so I'm going to use my foundation that's like half a shade darker than me because it oxidizes. It's by Fenty Beauty. It's the shade 230. I'm going to start in the center of the face and buff out with a Real Techniques buffing brush. You have to work fast with this foundation, and it does oxidize darker. For this look, I'm going with a little bit more full coverage, just because, you know, she wore it to the Golden Globes, red carpet kind of thing. You want it to last a while, so I just thought in the spirit of that, why not use full coverage? So I'm just working in stippling and light buffing motions because I don't want to micro exfoliate my skin, so I'm just trying to not do too much buffing. And I'm going to take it down the neck a little bit so that it matches a little better. If you have dry skin, you probably would not like this foundation. It's pretty drying. I have like combo skin and I have to really prep my skin beforehand, like very heavily moisturize and use a moisturizing primer or else it will not work. I'm going to use Urban Decay's Primer Potion. I definitely suggest using a primer because it helps the makeup go on better, and it also makes your eyeshadow last longer, so there's that. And with the whole theme of Golden Globes, you know, red carpet, I figured you probably want your makeup to last a long time. Now I'm taking a Real Techniques crease brush, domed shadow brush, and just setting that with powder. On Pati's Instagram, I think she posted a picture of the makeup she was using, and it looked like a couple Chanel cream shadows, which I don't have either. I think one was a very light baby pink. So I'm just going to use this blush by Tarte in this shade Dollface. I'm going to take that same Real Techniques brush and wipe most of the product on the back of my hand and just do a light dusting over the eyes. It's very light, very faint. Next it looked like Margot in some pictures had like almost a silvery liner on. So next I'm going to take this Makeup Forever silver eyeliner pencil. I don't know what shade it is. It's just a silver one. And I'm going to do a thin line on the upper lash line. This eyeliner doesn't really like to go on my eyelids, but we're working with it. So I'm just going to go on the outer edges with this Urban Decay Pistol. It's like a double-ended, one side's black, one side's like, I don't know, taupey. Just going to go on the outer corners right here. I like kind of make it a little bit thinner than I made the silver, and then kind of smudge it into the silver. And if you feel like you want to add more later, totally can. Next, I'm going to curl my eyelashes. This is my Kevyn Aucoin lash curler. And I'm going to use my Tarte Lights Camera Splashes, which is their waterproof mascara, one of my favorites. And I'm just going to wiggle at the root of the lashes and then wiggle up as well. I really want to focus on the root to get a little bit of extra dimension, kind of like a liner, but not. So there you can kind of see, you don't really see too much of the silver, you just see the dark mascara and then a little bit of light popping through. Moving on to concealer, I'm going to take this Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It's the lighter pink one. I'm just going to take a little bit on my ring finger and just apply it directly to the dark areas, which are, for me, kind of just right here. And then on the outer corners of my eyes, I get dark a little bit there, and I find that helps to, when you add the concealer or corrector right here, kind of helps to lift the eye. I'm not going to apply it in that inverted triangle because I'm not dark there. I just have darkness right here. So just apply the corrector where you have darkness. And then when you apply concealer over top, that's when you can apply it in the triangle if you so choose to. This one has a little bit of shimmer in it, so if you're not into that, definitely don't use this product. And it definitely needs to be set because it creases like crazy. Next, I'm going to be taking my Shape Tape Concealer by Tarte in the shade Light Sand. I'm just going to apply some to the back of my hand, and I'm just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush to apply my concealer. This one happens to be from Kylie. And I'm just going over top of that corrector just to help to brighten and conceal all the darkness. You really don't need a lot with Shape Tape, so just go in with literally the tiniest amount, because you can always add more. I'm just buffing that in, blending it out. I'm not going too crazy with it, I'm just using it to brighten and conceal. I'm taking it a little bit in the inner corners as well because I get dark there. I'm also taking that concealer around the nose to cover any redness. And since we're going to do a darker lip that's berry toned, you want to make sure you cover any redness on your face, because with darker and berry colored lipsticks, if there's any redness on the face, it like magnifies it like by 1,000,000 times. Sometimes Shape Tape doesn't blend well when it's a little bit drier with a brush, so you have to use your fingers. I'm just going to take a little bit down the bridge of the nose as well. Always like to do that. Then I'm going in with my Makeup Forever Full Cover Extreme Camouflage Cream in the shade 3. Mix in a bit of my foundation as well to just help it match me a little better. And I'm going to go over any spots that I have, just tapping the product in with my fingers and blending it out with a brush. Okay, I'm just going in one more time to pat in the concealer around my eyes, because while I was doing the concealer on my face, it creased, so I need to set everything with powder. Okay, so now I'm going to set everything with powder, and I'm going to be using my Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm setting any areas that I concealed. Okay, now I'm going to do my brows. I'm just going to take my Blonde Brow Gel by Shu Uemura. I don't really know how to pronounce that. And I'm going to brush the hairs up. Make sure I get product on there. And then next, I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer in the shade 310 Medium Brown. And I'm just going to fill in where I need to. Margot's brows were very polished but defined, and that's what I'm kind of trying to do with mine, but I don't want to go too dark though because we're going to do a like bold lip, so don't want to take away from that. I'm just doing feathery strokes and brushing them out with this little spoolie and just very lightly going through the front of the brows. I'm just going to take a wet spoolie and run it through a clear bar of soap and brush it through my brows, making them point upwards. This is really going to hold them in place and make the hairs look a little bit more defined. I'll probably be going back in there to fill in once it dries. But next is the fun part, which is the lips. And I have a few lip products here. Pati actually used, I think, 3 lipsticks on Margot. And I have none of those lipsticks. So I'm going to be using a mixture of Lancome's Rouge in Love and Etude House PK015. I think that's the name. And Maybelline Real Raisin Makeup Forever number 36. I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is the Lancome one. And I'm just going to start putting that on and picking some of that up with my Real Techniques lip brush. I'm next going to take a little bit of the Makeup Forever color. It's a hot pink. I'm going to apply that. Then I'm going to be taking the Etude House one, which is a darker kind of hot pink, more of a kind of fuchsia-ish color. And I'm gonna kind of take it in from the outer corners and go underneath at the bottom of the lip here, kind of to contour the lips in a way. You'll keep it lightest in the center, same on the top. Gonna take a little bit more of that color, intensify it a little bit. Next, I'm going to take that Raisin from Maybelline, which is looks like this. It's not quite the color of a raisin, but it works. It's more of a cranberry. And again, I'm doing that same thing I was with the Etude House lipstick, taking it in from the corners and using it to contour my lips. So by making it darker on the outer corners here and a little bit on the lower lip, like just right here, it makes them look fuller. It just gives them extra dimension. So this is the finished look. My camera shut off, but all I did was apply that blush that I put on the eyelids, and I just filled in a little tiny piece right here in my brow. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it, and yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to. So bye guys!